Okay, in this video we're going to talk a little bit about using the Linux shell, which is using a text-based interaction with Linux. If you look at your Getting Started from the CS homepage, there is a link here under Using Linux. There's 3 different links you can look at. There's 2 tutorials and then a quick reference. If you click the tutorial, this will give some explanations that you can read through. I would recommend going ahead and doing that after watching this video. Pick one or the other and just look through the tutorial. They'll give a lot more explanation than I'll give here in this short video. After you're familiar with how things work, you can use the quick reference card just to remember what the commands are. But I'll get you a quick start right now. I'm on a Mac and I have logged in, but I'll go ahead and do that again. So I'm going to connect to the CS server using my account. And so it's showing me here, this is kind of like I'm in my computer or my Finder. I'm sitting here inside of my directory, and the tilde means I'm inside of my home directory. If you're on my computer, it would say that somewhere here on a Mac, and just let me pause for a second. On my Mac, I have my files shown over here. At the top here it says what directory I'm in. So if I click in there, then it says I'm inside of that directory, and I could go up directories with my back and forth buttons. In the terminal here, if I want to know what directory I'm in, I type pwd for print working directory and enter. That says this is where I am, and the slash is the root of the file system. On Windows, that would be like your C:, your C drive. That's a little different, but so that's where I am. And if I want to see what files are there in Mac or Windows, I just double click and I see files here in the browser. Here I need a command, and that is ls for list files. That's a list of my files, and the directories over here, the directories have a little folder picture, and that's broken. Over here the directories end with a slash, and it'll depend on your settings how the directories are displayed, but they're a little different. Okay, let me just fix that. Okay, my Mac, if I want to go into a directory, I double click on the Linux here. The command is cd, and then I tell it which directory I want to go into. If I want to go into my courses directory, then this little part here is a short summary of what directory I'm in. So it tells me that I'm Jay Kinney, I'm logged into the CS server, and I'm inside of my courses directory. And now if I type ls, it's whatever's inside of my courses directory. If I want to go back up again, over here I would hit my back arrow. Here I do cd, and then there's a special thing called ... which goes up one level. And if I type ls again, those are the same files that I saw before in my home directory. I could go back up into courses. If I'm over here to copy a file, I might right click and say copy. Over here there's a command, so I could copy some file called delme.c, copy delme.c. That's the file I want to copy, and then I could call it a new file.c. Now if I type ls, there is a new file.c right there on my list. So we've had so far pwd for print working directory, ls for list files, CD for change directory, dot dot is a special name for going up, and CP for copy. If I want to change the name of a file, over here I would do something like right-clicking and doing rename, or just clicking and waiting for it and hitting enter. Over here there's a command called move, MV for move. So if I move that new file, say delme2.c, dele2.c, so that shows up there now. That's MV for move. If I want to delete the file, RM for remove. And depending on your settings, it may or may not ask you for confirmation. I have my settings set so that it will, and I have to say yes. But you should try this out to see whether you're going to be asked for confirmation, yes or no. If you want to make a new directory, there's a command called mkdir. So now I should see something called new dir. There it is. If I go in there with cd, change directory, new dir. If I type ls, there's nothing there. I could copy a file from up one directory, so dot dot, and then delme.c. I could copy that here. So the copy command, you always tell it what you want to copy and then what do you want to copy it to. And if I say dot, dot is a special means that copy it into the current directory that I'm in. Okay, there is delme. The ls command has some options that you can give it. So if I say ls-l, it gives me a list of details. The delme.c is 339 bytes. It was last modified on August 25th at 12:56, which is the current time because I just created it. And it was created, it's owned by me, Jay Kinney, who is in the users group. And this here are the file permissions. It says that by default, or the current permissions on this file is that I am allowed to read and write it, and nobody else is. So these other ones here say whether other people are allowed to read that file, and currently they're not. That's the default on my files. If we go over and look at our quick reference card, you'll see some of these commands listed, the directory commands ls, cd, mkdir, file commands cp, mv, rm. Okay, that's just a very quick start just to get you started. And after this, we'll be ready for one of the other modules.